We're in the marvelous month of May and many magnificent things are happening in the art world. I'm loving the titles, collaborations, and even the ingenuity from the creators. Like this Operation Waste to Wealth practice taking place in Badagry. Amazing to see what coconut shells can become. Then another person using unconventional objects is this contemporary artist. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the outcome of a creative mind on this week's episode of the program. A warm welcome. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
Our wordsmith for this week is called Addiction by Daniel Adeyemi. It all started with the zeal to know, to feel, see and taste, chemistries and their reactions. It started as a pleasurable life lesson, a little puff, a bigger bluff amongst peers, enjoying every bit of its course, over and over every day, awaiting eagerly to learn from fantasy. It then turned to addiction. Brain rewired, reward center hungrier, a slight deviation from its desires, a hungrier trauma. Addiction, the softer route to ruin. Suicide advises its comrade, driving minds crazy. The ashamed society we live in, for they criticize rather than educate. They laugh at derailed minds with curses. Addiction, the plague in our Egypt. Not only Africans, for many are the afflicted, and need love to stop them from being addicted.
From one creative to another, this visual artist is training many others, including his son, to think out of the box when it comes to creating works of art. We see it in this maiden exhibition in Badagry, Lagos.
Coconuts. Loads of them can be found in the coastal town of Badagry in Lagos State. A group of artists have decided to utilize them in this maiden exhibition, which shows how residue from this fruit can be used for arts, crafts, and design.
Now we have what we call a circle of Nigeria coconut artists that comprises of professional artists and crafters that uses coconut shell for their arts and crafts. So, and now we find out most of the processors that uses coconut, what they do is to use the meat in the coconut. And if I will ask you now that, okay, you as a person, if you eat coconut, what do you do to the shell? The rest is story. You throw it off, or if you don't throw it, some may even, like the processors now, what they do, they will put the shells together and use it to make fire while cooking, which might result to air pollution. Some who don't do that, they can't use every shell they are throwing off. So some will throw it anywhere they see, and that may block our drainages or even littered everywhere up. So that's gave birth to what we are doing here today. That we are using this exhibition to tell the world that instead of throwing your coconut shells anywhere or anyhow, instead of throwing them around your premises, even if you throw a sharp coconut shell on the ground and the child falls on it, it will damage the child's body. So instead of doing that, why don't you turn it to a wet making materials? So that is why we titled the theme of the exhibition, Wet in Waste. so so many wealth you can create from waste, which is coconut. Our environment is surrounded with coconut. We have coconut shells around. So we are now telling the world that instead of throwing them away or using them to make fire, you can get so many adorable things from them that you can use to decorate your hotels, your homes, and the rest.
The beauty of the Waste to Wealth crusade is seen in the array of works that have been created from it, as this group has infused other elements in their images to make it look more appealing and intriguing.
I use the fowl here just to represent man. Like anywhere you are in the gathering, there will be that particular person that is so favorite to the rest. Even in the classroom as a teacher while teaching, you have some particular student that, these ones are my own students. You understand? If you want to ask questions, Saki, you answer the question at the rest. So I am using this now to represent man. And instead of painting the choosing one there white, I decided to use yellow and embellish the fowl too with other things. And on a lighter mode, if you kill a fowl, you will use vegetable. So that's why you have leeks there.
The title of the work, Equal Rights. Equal Rights. As you can see, it has two figures in yellow and red, equally proportioned in the middle of the work. Just trying to talk about, instead of treating one gender better than the other, you have to give both genders the same treatment. No one is higher than any. It's just about break the bias. That's basically what this work is about. Equal rights.
Multimedia artist Nathaniel Hodonu is the one leading the pack, as he's trained artists and given them room to fly.
I may say I have the larger number of works here because I am I've trained several students in workshops, trainings, and thereabout. And I am only using this one now to create a platform for them where they can showcase their talents to the world. And doing this again, we want to bring in more people. Our youths are there loitering about, looking for jobs. I have an undergraduate child who is here today. He has his works here too. So instead of after graduation, you're looking for a job here and there, you can go into this. So we want to use this exhibition to bring in more people who will be doing this.
In our own little way, we have started something. This is another venue which government can put in governmental effort to bring out employment for the teeny youth. No work outside there. We have a lot of graduates roaming in the streets, but with their knowledge, the knowledge they have acquired in the form of university, joining it with this craft work. So if government can come to our aid and collaborating with us or encouraging or giving us enabling environment to strive well in mass producing of this thing, so we generate more employment.
it's an eye-opener. I've seen things that made my brain just go creative, thinking of things, making things out of things that people throw away. I've been thinking. It's a way more people should think in our country today. There's so much wastage, and if only a lot more people will think of how to make profits from waste, I think we'll have a better country.
The cost of art material has hit the roof due to the state of the economy. This artist is encouraging his colleagues to think out of the box, because what they need to create that amazing work of art might just be lying in their backyard.
Who would have thought that coconuts could be used for something that sensational? And I love the fact that he's making it a Generation Next project, especially with the rising cost of art materials. We need to really encourage the future creators.
And these are the works of art you sent in this week. So let's begin this week's works of art with some fresh air. A sculptural piece begins this week's edition of Works of Art. This one is done with metals by Richard Joshua. He says he hasn't given it a title as well. Then fresh from Salah Holidays, this artist called Joel Alassane has this pastel on paper work which he calls Barca de Salah. Then this acrylic on canvas work is done by Innocent Chikezie. He's celebrating the good times in life. Then the Woko sisters, dedicated to twins and the beauty of having a sister in the world, is done by Christian Joe with graphite, charcoal and gouache on paper. Then Glorious Future is how this artist called Olani Timothy has captured this work, which he has rendered in charcoal and acrylic on canvas. Then this oil on canvas piece called Mama Jamil is done by Omole Michael. Of course, he's capturing the musician Tiwa Savage. Then the beauty of motherhood also runs deep in this work, done by William Atero with acrylic on canvas. He calls it Motherhood. Then Bukola Orioye has this oil and acrylic on canvas work. Which concludes the works of art you sent in this week. And we always appreciate you for sending them in and keep encouraging you to put your best foot forward, as always. Being a woman writer, I will be deceiving myself if I said I write completely through the eye of a man. There's nothing bad in it, but that does not make me a feminist writer.
This artist is also renowned for using unusual objects in his works of art, and he does just that at his solo exhibition in Lagos.
Transmogrification. That's how multi-talented artist Adeola Balogun has decided to tag his 13th solo art exhibition.
It's about change. And what change are we talking about? It's about the change that has been brought upon us by science and technology, right? In different aspects of humanity, technology has actually impacted us, either positively or negatively. And it depends on the way you look at it. In this particular show, I've actually chosen to explore electronic panels as material for making art. And with this, I actually alluding to some of the changes that has been brought upon us by science, which you and I cannot do without today.
The head of department in the School of Art, Design and Printing Technology, Yaba College of Technology, Lagos, hasn't departed from his signature style as he infuses more found objects into his works of art.
If you look at it, you discover that I actually, majority of the works you're having here, they fall into two categories: painting and sculpture, mixed media. Two of them, they are mixed media. For the sculptures, I use electronic panels, different metals. You see brass, you see stainless, and you see mild steel being brought together to create either abstract works or semi-abstract or realistic works, right? And at the same time, you see the infusion of mixed media, that is infusion of photography and painting on the mixed media. So it's a mixed media, which you can see either in the sculpture, version or in the mixed media painting.
The message he's trying to communicate to his audience is also key.
Today we're talking about the cyberspace. We're talking about the internet. All these have impact in our lives in different forms, because there's a series of work which I titled Gold Mines and Land Mines. And if you look at it critically, you discover that that is actually what the internet is today, because you can actually make fortune on the internet, and at the same time a whole life savings could be wiped out through the internet, through the cyberspace. So this has, this actually, what actually informed the body, different bodies of work. These bodies of work that are put together.
The images have left an impression on the minds of the visitors.
The exhibition is wonderful, to be honest with you. It has class and crass at its best. I'm sure, I don't know how it feels, but it has a beautiful aura. And the body of work is all balanced in a very nice way. I love this show. This is a beautiful show in every definition of the word. I don't think there's anywhere he has exhibited his works that I have not visited. And the reason is simple. He's a man who premises his creativity on innovation. And once you do that, you will see that you will just be, bringing about new products, and that what makes him different. I love him for that. And that's why I will continue to patronize him.
Over 20 installations, sculptural pieces, and more were showcased by this artist at Signature Beyond Gallery in Lagos.
Need I say more? I told you this week was going to be phenomenal, and it gets even better.
On the next episode of Art House, Next of Kin exhibition as Thought Pyramid Gallery reveals the ones to watch in the art space.
Next of Kin is actually an exhibition or a platform that helps to create awareness and publicity for upcoming artists.
Then, in the nation's capital, we see The Master and His Prodigy, an exhibition at Orisun Gallery.
I just feel there's hope for every artist, the upcoming artists, our generation. Meeting the likes of Professor Bruce tonight, it means a lot to me. And for Kanye, it's a milestone.
We encourage you to keep liking, sharing, and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
As we anticipate the next episode, we're looking forward to interacting with you on any of our social media platforms. Feel free to chat us up, view, like, and share this and other episodes of the program by visiting our various social media pages. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Do stay safe and keep being creative.